I full body hate thinking out loud.
It's not a good.
I didn't appreciate how good it was until I heard it every single day at the bank, and it's like,
Jeremiah, you have
so
Stockholm
good.
syndrome. You have fucking Stockholm syndrome, dude. This is literal Stockholm.
Over time, you were slowly bent to Ed Sheeran's will.
But there was
You-
I love this one.
Hey guys, and welcome to the inaugural Billboard's Summer 2019 Hot 1000 cast. I am your host, Matty Mandoodle, aka Recon EG at Walmart.com.
Hello. This is Jackson at horse_jeans on twitter.com. I am also on this episode. We are talking about all of the top 1,000 songs that are streaming on the charts right now. We're doing everyone, counting them down. Very excited to be on this podcast with my boys this afternoon.
What's up? It's Alex. I'm a curly-haired freak, and I'm ready to talk about 1,000 pop songs in a row.
And hey, it's your boy Sean Mendez here, guest starring on the Indieheads Podcast this week. Really excited to talk shit about my friends. In
OMG,
the
Shawn
top 10.
Mendes. Okay.
Are we suggesting it's canon that if you're in the Hot 100, you are best friends with everyone else in the Hot 100?
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty reasonable to
I
me.
think it's a
I think that certainly explains
It's a court
one
order.
of the songs on the top 10, which we're
Mhm.
not going to get into now, but I think we all know what it is.
Yes.
I-
We will discuss.
I think it's also canon that anyone who's on the top 100 is also our best friend.
No.
True.
That's-
No,
no,
I
that's-
know. I don't want to be, again, anyone that's in the top 100 is my mortal enemy. Because, again, by making that assumption, Jackson, you say that I'm friends with Bryn Urie, and I would never be friends with Bryn Urie because...
I don't want to be in a room with Post Malone. I bet you can smell him from a few houses away.
Look, I am a champion for gay rights and all that stuff, but Bryn Urie, man, I'm homophobic for Bryn Urie, and Bryn Urie especially.
Is he gay?
He's pan.
Oh.
At least, I don't know. Anyways,
All
let's
I
get
know is
into...
that according to Kasha, he destroyed Panic at the Disco.
He did destroy Panic at the Disco. That's why I'm homophobic for him, because, like, Theory Can't Sweat Up, that's a classic, and then just... Here's the thing. Here's the state of Panic at the Disco. Think about why literally every founding member of the band has left that band except for one person. Like, just think about... It can only become creative differences for so long, you know? He wasn't even the one who, like, was the founding, like, the founding member of the band. He was just, like... someone they kind of picked up like really early on, and then basically was like, oh well, just gonna take over the band then one by one. So
Yeah,
anyways,
big yuck from me.
big yuck. And
Yeah,
speaking of
it's me.
big yucks, let's get into this Billboard top 10. We are talking about the top 10 songs in the Billboard Hot 100.
We start from the bottom and go up, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
10 to 1.
Yes. So this is the chart. I want to say, let me figure out what the specific date they have set up for this, because usually they do their stuff like a week ahead, I think, like the way they set up their weeks. This is the week of May 25th, 2019, to be more specific for what this is. And our number 10 is the only song that's on here that last episode, or last Billboard episode back in November, and that is, of course, the song that will never die, Halsey's Without Me. And
It's astonishing to me that this, like, maybe it could have had a week in the top 10, that's fine, but it's astonishing to me that it has had any staying power at all. It's so forgettable. The chorus is so intolerable. It grates on my ears. I hate it.
The radio loves Halsey. Like, you gotta, like, really think about how much like, I hear this on the radio all the fucking time. Like, they fucking love this song, and I just, like I said, yeah, I agree. I do not get it. She has songs that are better than this, that are more memorable than this. I don't think it's as bad as y'all think it is, but it's still not very good. Still,
She just she isn't a very good singer, and she
Yeah.
tries to do these vocal gymnastics on the chorus, and it's just so nasally and so grating. And like, you know, I like a fair share of very nasally voiced artists, but it does not work here for me.
Well, that's the thing, I think, is that it's not that she's like a terrible singer. It's that like she sings like she's the greatest singer of all time, and like there are plenty of artists I like Will Toledo, who has objectively like a much worse singing voice, but Will Toledo doesn't do like gospel runs and shit like because he knows his range and his length, and Halsey is just forever going to be the video of her in the mall.
Yes,
like
I was just getting ready to mention this.
I also thought about that.
We mentioned it on the last time we talked about the song, but still, it holds true. It's just like
Halsey is the person you know that did exactly like one singing lesson when they were like 16 years old, and then like did karaoke, and like really like when they went up to do karaoke like had been planning how they were going to do their vocal performance all week, and they're like trying to blow you away from it. It's like really kind of depressing and very very
Do you
not
guys
good.
remember that video of the girl trying to sing Whitney Houston and just like not hitting the notes and just like screaming when she didn't hit a note and just like crying?
I've seen the video. It sounds...
I have not seen that.
Oh,
That
boy.
sounds terrific.
Yeah, that's Halsey.
So,
You know what I'm talking
this
about.
So you know what?
It's a
Actually,
fine
Jerry,
pop song. It's fine.
It is
I mean,
fun.
it's just like it's whatever. I think what really rubbed me the wrong way about it was actually the lyrics. It feels really toxic and like pretty fucked up actually.
I mean,
I
this
was
is a
like,
breakup
this
song
is
about
not a
G
good-
Easy though. I mean, like
Oh, is it about?
it's about G Easy though.
Oh,
so
my
like,
God.
Halsey
In that case,
dated
it's actually the best
G-Eazy.
song on the top 10. And I think that Halsey is an Antifa super soldier, and we stand.
okay.
So
Yeah.
one thing I noticed about this song that I did not notice in previous listens was that she interpolates Cry Me a River on the bridge.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Which is,
Yeah.
yeah,
I somehow knew that despite Cry Me a River being one of my favorite pop songs ever, and I just find it really funny because it completely does away with all the sadness and pettiness, not sadness, sassiness and pettiness that makes Cry Me a River like so fun, and just make those lines such a horrible dour affair. She's so self-serious about it and bitter, and it's just not even remotely entertaining, let alone compelling.
It's like, bro, you dated cocaine like a cocaine youth Hitler member. Like, it ain't that serious. Did you guys know
Also-
that she has like a bad cocaine habit, and that's probably why they broke up.
I just assumed it was because G-Eazy is a Nazi, but I guess I kind of had wrong sources.
I mean, I'm sure that was definitely a sticking point in their relationship. That was probably an issue along the way. I think this song is, yeah, like you said, it is fine, but it is insanely forgettable to the point where in the time between the last episode we did and this one, I had completely forgotten this song, and listening to it today and like rediscovering it was like having a new trauma, like re-earth, like a trauma that you would buried under the surface. It's like, oh, I do know this song and I hate it. Oh my god, it was terrible experience. Rediscovering this song. No thanks.
All right, let's just move
Yeah,
on
let's
to
move
another boring ass song. Talk by Khalid, which
Okay,
Look,
actually,
This actually sounds like Sam Smith.
this
I mean, it's
I'm gonna-
produced
hold
by
on.
Disclosure, so that would make sense.
Okay.
Which again,
This is a
let's
good
talk about
song,
how
It is
actually.
terrible. I hate the beat.
That's it.
I find it so grating.
the sad state of affairs for Disclosure. They have this breakout album, and everyone loves it, and then they just followed up with like this boring mess, and just they have not recovered since.
The only thing that they've done is they put out like a couple of just kind of house disco-y singles last year that are all really good, and it's like clear that they can still do like very good house music, but the fact that they managed to write Latch, which is like a legitimately great pop song, it seems to be kind of like a fluke, because almost all of their other dabbles into like full-on pop music are not good generally. And this song, I like the instrumental fine on it, but Khalid is just like doing absolutely nothing on the song in a way that he does on every Khalid song. Like the song is called Talk, and I think that's very funny because I think it was my buddy Boats that pointed this out on his podcast, but like Khalid just kind of talks in key. Like that's like his singing stays in this very like specific register that is it just, when you're not really paying attention to the song, his vocals just sit into the background. So it literally is music designed for you to not really pay attention to.
Oh yeah,
but
it's total Spotify core, like total Spotify core to the core.
Yeah,
and you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I was okay with that. I was sitting there playing Dead Cells, just listening to these tunes, and I will say that in its place in the top 10, it comes at a very nice point, and is a great palate cleanser, actually, and I enjoyed it a lot.
That is true.
That it wasn't another song that was on the top 10.
Yeah, I think that is essentially like, I mean, like it was in I think the Pitchfork. I don't know if it wasn't Alphonse's Pitchfork review. I think it was like another Khalid review, but they basically were like, he's like air conditioning, and you can't like be mad at him because his music is like the absence of any like edges or roughness. It's like all like perfectly smooth and sanded down like a Ken doll. Like just so it's just like, so as you can't really, you're not like, oh my god, I hate this, because there's nothing about it that's bad or upset. I mean, like there's some parts of the instrumental that I was like not super into, but like there's nothing really to be upset about. It's just this kind of lack of things there. And so when you are listening to it in the background, you're probably like, yeah, this is good. And then when you listen to it with any sort of like intensity or scrutiny, it is just like an empty shell.
That does not. Yeah, that does sound like it checks out. I was actively just not paying attention while I was listening to it, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, "This is fine."
Remember on a previous podcast when we talked about the middle, and Jeremiah was like, "I love this song," and then he explained that he had only heard it once from like 5 rooms away and just heard the vocals.
I still think that song is excellent. Although at first I thought you were talking about Jimmy Eat World, and I was like, obviously that's a great song. No, the middle by Zed featuring that girl is a great song, and I stand by that.
I will just say my final
I
comment
don't hate
on
it as much as I did.
I was going to say my final comment on Khalid. Do you guys know the Twitter account Peter Zinping? I think the Chinese guy, or the Chinese shit posting account. You probably know this tweet though. It just reminds me of the tweet. We just go into 7-Eleven, man. Why do you need to smoke weed first? Is something wrong with you? I feel like that's just like Khalid's like in a single tweet. I don't know why, but that's just the vibes he brings off to me. You know.
I will say that if I were working at an establishment that was built off of exploiting people for their wealth, and I had to hear this on the radio there, I would not be upset. And that is actually kind of my... That's my criteria at this point. I would not be upset if I heard this song. I might not notice if I heard this song, which might be good, but I don't think I would care, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Unlike the next song.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Which is actively one of the worst songs I've ever heard. This falls into the cursed category with like Uptown Girl.
It's pretty chaotic.
I love how that's your first reference point was Uptown Girl.
I mean, that's
after the non-success of Reputation, you would absolutely have assumed that Taylor would have gone for some kind of like something that was more down to earth, but in 2 years she has turned around and absolutely thrown down the gauntlet with one of the most self-absorbed songs of the decade.
Oh yeah, she doubled down. She doubled down hard on this.
Yeah,
And it's
she's
like,
doubled down hard.
I don't know who tweeted it, but it's just like, I mean, number 8, by the way, we're taking number 8, me, Taylor Swift, featuring the cursed man that we will not discuss until we are forced to discuss him a
Big
bit more in
Chungus
depth.
himself.
Look, we talk about Dave Longstrip being dick-ass, but I feel like he hasn't done enough dick-ass things lately. I feel like the crown should be given to Mr.
No,
Brennan Urie.
You can give him Dick Ass the third, but
Yes, okay. Well,
Dick Ass the first. Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll go with Dick Ass the third for the unnamed criminal that we will discuss. But I don't know what I was gonna say. 8, Taylor Swift featuring Brennan. Alex, you continue. Fucking hell, I can't speak.
What?
I was gonna say I was gonna let you continue. I was gonna say what the song was, and I forgot what I was gonna say after I was gonna mention what the song was actually called.
To me, this is a Kanye. Wait, have we not mentioned the title of the song?
It's called Me. I said Me.
Yeah.
Me,
Okay.
With
we're
me
talking
in all
about
caps.
Me by
exclamation point.
Taylor Swift featuring Brandon Urie, which is absolutely a Kanye West bleached model asshole moment, except it's not funny and not strangely compelling.
You know what? Yeah, I got to agree with that.
That is pretty on the nose.
That's accurate.
I never thought about it like that, but like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. When I listened to this song for the first time, it was just in the background while it was playing Dark Souls 3, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. And then for my second listen, I watched the video, and and watching the video made me hate the song. But I do think the video is fantastic, and that I cannot recommend it enough. It is just this, like, I don't know. I hate to make this comparison, but it makes me think about The Room, where just every tiny detail about it is so chaotically wrong that it's just kind of hilarious. Can I talk about the video?
Yes, of
just,
course.
Please
like,
do.
Just
Please, go ahead.
the beginning. It begins with, like, a terrible pink CGI snake that's supposed to be all menacing. This is, like, throwing back to Reputation, where Taylor was, like, quote-unquote self-awaredly taking on this snake persona because that's what people were calling her. And then so the snake slivers towards the camera, and it's hissing and stuff, and they're trying to make it a little spooky, and then it explodes into 1,000 pastel butterflies.
I am, as this is being described, I am watching the video. I like hit play as Alex started, and this is the most wonderful thing in the whole world.
You know what? No, I can get it too.
It's just this terrible heavy-handed imagery, and then the video they pan up to this fancy apartment where Taylor Swift and Brandon Urie, who are portraying a couple, are arguing in bad French.
All right, I'm watching it now.
I refuse.
The road was all multicolored bricks.
It's really chaotic evil.
May does not like you talking about this video. If you can hear my dog.
It's so great because it's this beautiful intersection of, like, having incredibly talented people and, like, unlimited budget to create any sort of vision, while also simultaneously making, like, terrible creative decisions at literally every. So it's like nothing is bad, nothing is shoddy, everything is done, like, to a degree of, like, professionalism and quality, but it's also so like unnervingly bad.
That's exactly the song, though.
That's exactly what the song is too. Like it's just, it is, like, really. I listened to. There's a really great. If you want to listen to people, there's a really great episode of Jam Session, Juliet Littman and Amanda Dobbins podcast, where they're like huge Taylor Swift fans, and they basically talk about this single and video of, like, how awful of a misstep it is and how kind of disappointing it is. And basically what they talk about is that this single is, like, loudly sort of declaring that, like, instead of making any turn toward, like, maturity or toward like some sort of more age appropriate audience. She's basically like just I'm going to sell like pop music to a new batch of preteen girls just like every 5 years for eternity, instead of like making music that more reflects like where she maybe is in her life right now, because she is a good songwriter, but it's like in pursuit of just this eternal like bubblegum pop domination, world domination. It's like she's just completely like lost the plot, and it's really this video is playing on my screen while I'm talking, and it's so just
I refuse.
Such
I
a
refuse.
pastel-colored nightmare.
I refuse.
Okay, looking
I'm
at the
part,
video.
I'm at the part where there's an entire like Wizard of Oz flash mob of dudes in terrible pastel outfits. And I just don't understand how we
It
got.
only gets worse from here.
Oh yeah,
It gets worse.
Looking
at the video,
it tops itself every like 30 seconds in terms of terribleness.
All
Yeah,
right,
what the fuck are
guys,
these clouds?
The lyrics,
Okay.
every last word is just more horrible than the last.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that this song is terribly it's terribly not good lyrics, and also I think like the production on it, although not like immediately super upsetting or anything, like the more I kind of sat with the actual song, it's like so bad compared to like the music just on like 1989, or even the last one was like better than this in terms of like I said in the chat, it's some Ho-Hey Lumineers ass bullshit, and that's like how I feel. Like when the like acoustic guitars and like kind of horn arrangements come in on the chorus or whatever, it's just so corny, like so painfully corny and not good.
Can I?
Okay, we need to discuss the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, the unnamed man, Mr. Brendan Urin. We need to discuss. Okay, here's the thing. I will say this. I will admit this, and do not hate me. Lyrically, I mean, here's the thing. On the first listen, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. It's not good, mind you, but I was like, okay, this is not the worst. Although, of course, the whole I know that I went psycho on the phone, I never leave alone if alone line, that's an awful, bad line. Like, holy shit. But as soon as Brendan Urin comes in, it's like, oh, wow. I fucking hate this song. Did we talk about High Hopes on the last episode, or did it not get in the top 10 at that point?
I do not know that song.
I don't think we talked about it.
Oh boy. I'm just gonna very briefly mention High Hopes is one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. It's so bad. It's so bad and so annoying. And we're at least with this song, and Brendan Urin, of course, he has like anti-charisma for me. It's just like as soon as I hear him, I just go no. Like I just refuse. Like I try my best to tune out if I can.
So honestly, I actually really like his voice.
No.
I know nothing about this man, mind you.
I mean, I get it, but like, God.
But I just like, I don't know, I grew up hearing Panic on the radio, and like I've become accustomed to his voice, and so when I hear it, I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Well, the problem is that he's now like producing for his own voice, where at least he had like people to filter out his bad ideas for like how he should sound, like here's the thing, if you think this song is bad and obnoxious, like you have not heard High Hopes. High Hopes is way worse than this. Like it's loud, it's obnoxious. Brendan Urin, he's just hitting these high notes, not really high notes. He's not like going like a falsetto, but just like singing as loud as he possibly can. It's the most like theater kid bullshit ass music that you're ever going to hear in your entire fucking life. All right, this is only a sliver. This is only a sliver of his horrible theater kid energy, like God. I'm sorry.
That's
In
true.
the
This song does
video-
have some cursed theater
In
kid
the
energy.
video, he flies down from the apartment on an umbrella.
No,
Maddie,
fuck that.
You need to.
Fuck, no.
You should see the video, Matthew.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the video. I'm gonna pull up the
Seriously,
video.
yeah,
I'm gonna pull up the video.
It's some like David Lynch like nightmare and shit that you will appreciate. I
Oh,
also
God.
was looking up the lyrics to the song on Genius, and like as a really great example of how Taylor Swift has literally gone from like actual person to like corporation, is that on the page, when you look up the lyrics page, you get hit with literally, I'm kidding, every single ad space on the thing is now a targeted like Taylor Swift me listen on Apple Music ad.
Wow.
And I counted, and there are 10 of them like on the page. Like there are 10 different of the same exact image that you can click on and links you to like the Apple Music stream of this
Taylor
song.
Swift is real and strong, and she's my friend for that one.
Okay, I'm watching the video now. They refer they're again Taylor's
The
cats
cats,
as their
yeah.
kids, which I actually think is I'm fine
That's
with that.
funny.
I'm fine with
Yeah,
that because
that I did laugh at that. There were a couple
I have
things
never
in
met
this
my
video that were trying to be funny and genuinely were.
yeah. I've never met my girlfriend's cats, but they're also my kids too, so I get it. Oh my god.
I will say that the other very cursed YouTube suggestion for the people at home is if you weren't upset enough by the music video, the voice performance where she does the Beyonce thing is also like truly terrible.
So the first time I heard this song was at like 8 a.m. Kasha had just gotten up and was listening to it, or like clicked on a video with it on Twitter, and I was just delirious and half asleep. And I was like, "Oh, this is pleasant." And then as I like got progressively more awake, I heard "There's no I in team, but there is me."
Oh, it's so bad.
And then I said no, and she was like, "Yeah, this is really bad." And I said, "Yeah." And then I went to the bookstore where I work, and I was like, "You guys hear the new Taylor Swift
Was
song?"
that Ben
They're like,
Shapiro that I
"We
just saw in the
love it!"
video?
And I was like, "No."
That was not Ben Shapiro, I guarantee it, Matt.
It was not. Well, that motherfucker looked like Ben Shapiro. It's like the second guy that comes up after like Bryn Urie flies down on the umbrella. Oh god.
We see him fly down on the umbrella.
It's trying to be like similar to the video, like the bridge with the hey kids is it's trying to be like tongue in cheek and like, oh, we get that this is corny and we're like being campy and playing it up or whatever, and it's just so
These people
like
are again.
How do you?
Why
not
are these
understand
background
their pop-
dancers? These background dancers can't fucking like. For like, it's two, they can't dance very well, and two, like the song is not like fast paced. Not that you're like shimmying the way that they are. Like this is, oh my god, this is some real white people ass bullshit. Oh my god.
It's also really funny that like Taylor Swift, like just earlier this decade, like in around like 1989 and like the era before that, like was able to just completely dominate and like blot out the sun with the degree to which like her music was able to like take over. Just like you heard those songs everywhere, and like even though she still gets like huge, she's still gonna sell out tours. Like Taylor Swift is never gonna like flop or whatever, but like there's just you can tell that in the last 5 years she's like completely lost touch with like what people kind of want besides just her fans, and watching her like continue to try to like achieve pop world domination and get people's attention is like it's like watching a robot like short circuit. It's really wild to see like how much how batshit like it's easy to just put out like a bad song, but the particular kind of like chaotic energy of both this song and its video is like truly special, I think.
I
Yeah,
think what like makes it stand out is it because of course Taylor Swift is just this huge artist, and just to see her not only like flop completely once, but now to see that happen twice now with this video. With this song is only number 8, it debuted only at number 2 like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's already like rapidly dropping from the charts for a Taylor Swift song at least. Like to have it already be at number 8 is like this song needs like a really big radio or streaming or whatever iTunes push like real soon. Otherwise, this is just gonna get knocked out of the top 10, and it's just gonna fade from the public consciousness. You know, like it's a really sad state of affairs. I mean, like I said, she's still gonna sell out these tours and whatnot. It's just
1989 still slaps.
It still slaps.
It's one of the best
great album.
Yeah, and it becomes more and more apparent like how good it is with every few Taylor Swift song come. Like Reputation is fine. It's not like a garbage fire or anything. But just the difference from Reputation and 1989. Now that we're like out of the discourse of those things, it's just so much better.
Like even Bad Blood is like a song I miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never thought I would be missing Bad Blood, but like Bad Blood.
Remember the
song
Kendrick Lamar remix of Bad Blood?
Oh my god,
It's sweet actually.
pretty cool.
It's fine. Kendrick versus on features is just such a weird.
Yeah.
They're good most of the time, but it's like even sometimes when they're like there's a good percentage of the time where they're weird and bad, and then there's also a very good percentage of the time where they're like good and well wrapped, but just make absolutely no sense on the song that they've been put on because like someone wanted a Kendrick Lamar feature and had enough record label clout and money that Kendrick Lamar was like, because Kendrick Lamar will take a check.
No. He has no shame. He has no shame when it comes to features. He has no shame. It's just like it's literally just like here's the thing. It's just like all right, I'll take the check that I get from this song to pay James Blake to fly out to L.A. so we record a 2-second verse for this song.
Exactly. Like he uses the features to bankroll his like very expensive, incredible, groundbreaking, life-changing albums. So that's like the way to do it, and fine. And I don't get the people that like rag on like, oh, Kendrick's bad on features. It's like, yeah, half the time you can tell he's not like really trying. It's fine.
All right, I feel like we get the absolute scraps on the Kendrick features. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Remember that Maroon 5 song he did?
Tier of his like writing notes.
God, remember the Maroon 5 feature he did?
Oh, that was astonishingly
That's
bad.
The worst one. That's the worst one. That's
I never thought I would hear a Kendrick verse that was that bad, but it was terrible.
Definitely the best one is the brief feature verse he has on that one Lonely Island song where they talk about.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's great.
That was good. Yeah.
Speaking
but
of
also,
which,
I do think Good Kid, Mad City era Kendrick cared a little bit more than Damn era Kendrick.
Oh yeah, well I think at this point he's just like he's everywhere enough in the culture that like it's less important that like there was a period of time when Kendrick was in the process of like proving himself and establishing his dominance where like every feature that you do, everything you put out is adding up to like build up your reputation. And now that he's got like multiple platinum critically acclaimed records, he's like, I can do a song with whoever and it's not going to change my legacy in the slightest. So
remember the fucking Control verse? Like, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
He did that on a Big Sean song.
Oh my god. Big Sean. Oh, I can't believe we let that happen collectively.
I know.
There was a period of time, and there still are insane people like this. We live in a weird time, but I can't believe there was like a period of time where people were like the best rappers in the game right now: Lil Wayne, Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean. Like there were people who like sincerely would say stuff like that.
All right, we need to move on.
Okay, we're on a tangent.
All right, wait.
Are
Let me
you
just
guys
say a
still
few last
watching
things about the song "Me" by Taylor
Okay,
Swift,
fair enough.
featuring Dick Ass the Third. It's cursed. It's just cursed.
Yeah.
It's just a plague of locusts.
So, you know when you go to a county fair, and there are a lot of kids there, and they're all eating cotton candy, and one kid just eats too much cotton candy, and he throws up pink all over the ground on one of the rides. That's how I feel when watching this video and listening to this song.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's what it feels like.
All right.
That's a good take.
Can we honestly? I mean, I said
we talked about me for like 30 minutes.
Look,
And half of it, and only like 60% of it was actually about me. But anyways,
I said that I want to move on, but like, can we just skip the next song? Because I don't. Do we have anything to say about this song? We've talked about a couple forgettable songs so far, but this is like the most. I cannot remember how this goes.
we don't
I
have.
don't
to
know what song you guys are talking about.
It's Sam Smith and Normani dancing with the.
I thought that was a fine song. I thought the chorus was
I
bummer.
think it's
I thought the
perfectly
chorus was
acceptable.
just kind of like boring, but I thought
the
it went
chorus
pretty
is
hard.
an absolute waste because like the verses sound pretty good and I like the Normani feature, and then you get to the chorus and it's just nothing. It's
And
nothing.
I'm glad to hear that Sam Smith is not making ballads. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought it was fine. And I think I put it in one. It's one of the good songs in the in this Billboard top 10.
By the time I heard this song, going from 10 to 1, it was by far my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion on Sam Smith generally is that I like him. Yeah, like you said, I like him doing pop stuff more than I like him doing ballad stuff because I think he has a really nice, very good voice. And the reason why his ballads don't work is because he is like a very not that great songwriter and just kind of like. I just kind of feel nothing at his like really supposed to be very, very emotional like ballads, like tear jerkers, and it just kind of like I generally feel nothing. So I like him when he's doing stuff like Latch that's like just pop music that he's singing well on, as opposed to trying to make you cry, because I find his music pretty like I don't know, it doesn't move me very much. This song is pretty forgettable generally, as it is with Sam Smith most of the time, and I'm okay moving on from it.
Yeah, let's move on to the
Especially
new Postmaster Malone and Sway Lee song, Sunflower.
Especially because this song is irritatingly good. I like it. I think it's like very generic, and like the stuff that it's sort of inspired by, it's obviously just kind of like a pretty like it's a little kind of I don't know how to describe the beat to the song. It's like
it's very like old. It's like very kind of like old school, like kind of it's definitely like 808s inspired, that kind of like simple drum. I mean 808s just like in the drum beats and stuff, like just very kind of like bare bones,
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a little synth kind of pop thing, and it has some nice little like instrumental touches to it. Post Malone and Sway Lee are not doing. They managed to carry what is a pretty catchy tune, and the chorus of the song is good, even though neither of their vocal performances do like anything particularly interesting. It just sort of works in a way that I like the song. I think it's not amazing, but I enjoy it enough, and I think it works. And I
think this is the worst of the two Post Malone songs.
I would agree.
I disagree, actually.
Really? I
thought
strong
Sunflower,
disagree.
I think Sunflower. I mean, Wow is I don't know. Wow is a good song, but like it just sort of that one was like truly like I had drinking brain forget juice. Like I just don't like it. The beat starts really interesting, and the production on the track is good, and then he starts rapping, and I'm just like, what is any of this? I
find it irredeemable, honestly.
I mean,
like the beat just sounds bad to me. It hurts my ears. It's like displeasurable.
I'm like the opposite way. We're kind of talking about both the Post Malone songs, which again number 6, Sunflower, Post Malone, Sway Lee, and then number 5, Wow by Post Malone.
I was talking about Wow.
So, Skip.
We're kind of talking about both.
No, I'm sensitive to cultural appropriation. Absolutely. But maybe Post Malone wasn't a mistake.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing. I will
Here-
say
here
this.
comes.
I will.
No,
Let me.
literally, in my notes, the opposite take. The only note I wrote for WoW was, I can't believe Kanye allowed Post Malone to happen.
Okay, this is not true. Here's the thing.
Go ahead,
I will say this. I will say this about Post Malone compared to like all the other artists that are in this top 10. Post Malone, he knows what his voice. He has a very nice, pleasant voice, but he doesn't try to reach higher than he needs to go to. It's just like he has a nice little vocal range and he sticks within it.
Yeah, he
and I
doesn't
appreciate
reach above
that.
his station. He stays in his cast. What's so hard to understand?
I will say though. I will say though
think
for
that-
Sunflower. I will say for Sunflower though. Swaley, of course, Swaley doesn't have the best voice either, but he makes up for like his, vocal performance, which just charisma. Just Swaley has so much charisma on that song.
Oh,
Like,
exactly.
He makes up for the whatever singing faults he has. It makes up for it with charisma. Whereas Post Malone, that song, it's very like, oh, I phoned this in. Like it's very boring and whatnot. But at least with WoW, at least it sounds like okay, the beat's
Yeah,
nice.
WoW
It sounds
kinda
like
goes
he's
hard,
having
honestly.
he's having some fun. I like this. I like this more than other
If
like
WoW
Post
came on
Malone
at a
hits. Or at least
function,
because
I
at
would
least it
say-
sounds like he's having some, like Rockstar is dreadful. It's dreadfully boring. But at least this is like okay, he's kind of having some fun. I appreciate it.
I like Rockstar more than I like WoW. I really, really deeply dislike WoW because I think partly because the beat is good and when it starts it's so promising, but then when it kind of gets into the actual like the like production is good, but the beat itself, like the drums and the flow that he does over it, are so exactly generic that it really is like mind numbing and upsetting in a way that I think Sunflower, like, although the song isn't great and he very much I think like Jared said, he stays in his cast, and I think he manages to make that song work where I can listen to that song and not get upset, which is really how a Post Malone song succeeds, is that he's always gonna have like melodies that are passable, and it's just a matter of whether he does something to like actively piss you off and distract from the sort of experience. Also, going back to your debate on whether Post Malone was a mistake or not, or who allowed for it, I just was reminded of the Earl Sweatshirt tweet. Just heard the song White Iverson, whose man's is this? LOL, who let this slide?
That does say it all. That's pretty much like
Good
the only thing you
stuff.
need to say about Post Malone, honestly.
Yeah, Earl figured it out in January 2016.
Okay, so I have never heard a Post Malone song that I didn't like.
Wow.
Um,
That's quite a statement.
yeah, they don't. I think I want to hate him, and I hate everything he stands for. But at the same time, that hate has kind of turned into a begrudging respect for him and everything he does.
I think I'm kind of the opposite. I don't
Like-
know if I've heard a Post Malone song that I've liked in any serious regard.
I mean, I haven't been liked it enough to like loop it, you know? Be like, ooh, I want to listen to this right now. But if I hear a Post Malone song, I'm like, Yahtzee, let's go. And then I move on to the next song.
There are some Post Malone songs that I do have a Stockholm Syndrome-esque enjoyment of, where like
Oh.
I will never in my life put on Congratulations featuring Quavo, but there are going to be times in my life in the past and in the future where I will have to be in a place where I'm listening to Congratulations featuring Quavo, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it while I'm there, even though I would not choose. So it's like there are plenty of Post Malone songs that have like redeeming qualities and whatever, but this, I would say that WoW for me is extremely not one of them.
What was the Life of Pablo song Post Malone was featured on?
It's on Feel It or whatever.
Yeah, I actually like that song, so if that
song is
counts.
That song is really good, and his feature on it works for what it's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, Fade is the name of the song.
Okay.
I was thinking of the vocal sample, which is I feel it, do do do.
Yeah.
Fucking faded.
I think Fade's a great song. Here's the thing, I don't.
That song slapped on the Life of Pablo tour. Oh my goodness! Like the bass on that song in a live stadium setting is just really really good.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I don't think we've addressed it yet, but Post Malone is real and he's strong and he's my friend.
No. No.
All right.
Absolutely. And no.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Let's move on.
Wait. The only way to summon Post Malone is by tampering with 3 mailboxes. Once you do that, the spirit of Post Malone will rise and attack you. And killing Post Malone is the only way to get the Postmaster appearance set. Oh.
All right. Number four.
right.
Number 4.
This is a great song. I was stunned.
This
The
is a
song
banger.
is "Bad Guy" by Billie Eilish.
I mean, I think there's room to improve.
Yeah.
Like, just for Project Runway, I would be like, you took some risks, and I see there's some areas where it didn't pay off, but like overall,
Yeah.
I like what you did here. I thought everyone's like talking shit about Billie Eilish. I didn't even like know why.
No, yeah.
I just assumed that it was like whatever. I never listened to it.
I
It's a
really
great song.
have wanted to talk about this on a pod for a little bit right now because Billie Eilish is good, actually, is the start of this take, but not amazing. Like, this album is not. I think there is a thing in general. Misogyny is a thing in general, but like specifically with like when a woman artist or just anyone like receives a level of acclaim and recognition that men think is higher than deserves, they get like irrationally angry about that in a way that they never do with men. And I think Billie Eilish is like a really great example where it's like her music is very good, and for someone who is literally like 17 years old, this stuff is more creative and interesting and promising than like almost anyone else who has made pop music at 17 years old. And like, but the problem is that because she's like mega ultra super famous and like every single one of her songs has like hundreds of millions of Spotify hits, and she's like not headlining, but she's playing the main stage at Coachella at 17 years old. Because of that, like, people are putting like really ridiculous like expectations on what they're expecting out of her music, and also just dunking on her because people like to dunk on things that are popular among teenage girls because that makes them feel like they're smarter and more intelligent than other people. Bad Guy is a good song.
Bad Guy's a good song.
I really like. I mean, I'm a sucker for literally anyone that incorporates elements of house and techno into music that's not explicitly house and techno. And I love the banging ass beat on this song and a couple of the other songs.
The beat is filth.
The production is stellar, and her vocal performance is fantastic.
Yeah, the like whisper kind of singing thing.
Yeah.
Like, it really, like, I think I listened to actually her whole album after checking this out, and there's definitely like some songs where I'm like, yeesh, not for me, and there's definitely like times when her kind of whole vibe and thing feels kind of like a shtick and less like a unique sound, but like there are just a lot of times where it's like undeniably there's something cool and interesting here. And I think Bad Guy, for the most part, even though it kind of has lost a little of its potency as it's become kind of like a meme song, like I see this used in like memes and bits sometimes, but like I think it is a very cool and interesting song. And like if this is going to be number 4 on the Billboard, I'm a lot happier about that than a lot
When
of things.
she said, my mom sings all my songs, but when she reads the lyrics, she's not going to sing this one, I was like, oof, you rascal. A little bit naughty over here.
Did not expect to be the odd man out on this song. I really do not like this song whatsoever.
Yeah, you know why that is? Because you're a fucking hater.
You're the bad guy, bitch.
All right.
You're allowed.
I don't love the outro.
I
love
like
the
the
outro.
outro. The outro is my favorite part of the
outro-
song. That's the only part that I actually really like.
Outro really took me aback the first time I heard it, and I was like, what? And now I'm just kind of like, whatever on the outro. I just think I like the rest of the song more.
Yeah.
The fact that there is an outro is cool.
All right,
song gives me.
Let's hear Matty's trash takes.
Look, I don't like the song. I get why people like it, and I did find myself at times kind of like going with the beat, but like her voice gives me weird ASMR tingles, and I really don't like it. Like that's
I like the ASMR tingles. That's
I
literally.
don't see. I hate ASMR. I don't get it whatsoever. I don't like feeling like that.
I get what's going on here. Like, no, yeah, it works for me.
I just don't like. Her voice is weird. The beat is kind of. It's like I appreciate it, but I don't really like the chorus beat. I think it's a weird, like, it's like clown music. I don't like that.
Oh yeah, the little the little progression.
I think there was that Seth. I want to say Seth Everman video where he recreates the song, and I thought that was really funny.
That video is really funny.
That kind of ruined it a little bit for me.
Can kind of ruin the song because if you think about him like recording those sounds by like hitting the couch or whatever, it turns it into like a silly thing when the song is trying to be but also I think the song is not like super duper self-serious. Like
it's not. I feel like it's a weird. Where at least with Halsey, she explicitly takes herself like very very seriously to a point of like sabotage almost at times. With this, it's like Billie Eilish. I feel like she's in this weird spot where she takes herself very seriously, but wants to have like this kind of public persona where like, oh, she's fun and all this stuff, and I just feel like it causes a weird clash. And I don't know, but that's not really why I don't like this song. That's just kind of an observation. But I did like the outro. I think the outro is pretty cool. I did like the beat of that a lot, but I get why, of course, like white people like. I don't know. It's the weird ASMR tingles that just it pulls me out completely of the song, you know, and the clown music. And why is she dressed like Soulja Boy in 2007?
Okay, so counterpoint, clown music is actually good.
No.
Yeah, no. Personally, I do kind of like that little chord. It is a weird little melody, but it does get stuck in my head. I think it's like,
catchy. I will admit that. Like I feel like here's the thing with Billie Eilish. I think Billie Eilish she has a lot of potential to be a great pop star. I just feel like it's just weird to see a 17-year-old like be in such the pop consciousness like this, you know?
Oh yeah, it's insane how popular she is, and I think it would be a lot different if she like wasn't this like super duper mega famous this quickly.
I think from what I've seen from interviews and whatnot, I think she does have a good perspective on this, you know, of like of the fame and whatnot. I just hope that like just please end up being like relatively normal. Like don't go like I worry about it a little bit. You know?
Yeah,
I worry about it.
Famous, you should generally worry about it.
If I was as famous as her at 17, I would be fucked up. I would be a horrible, awful person. You know. Like, we'll kind of discuss this when we kind of talk about Tyler, the Creator's album on the next episode. But yeah, if you get like this, I think if you get famous as young as Billie has, there's a certain point where you just stop maturing, and that's why I hope doesn't happen to her, you know, because it makes sense to be immature at like 17 years old, but when you're like starting to get in your late 20s and you're still writing songs about like jealous, unrequited love, it's like, okay, like what's going on here?
I've never really thought about this, but like. Or thought about it in these terms, but I suppose it kind of makes sense for child stars, especially like teenagers who like, you know, are getting there and they've formed their own thoughts and opinions and feelings about stuff, even though they're like misguided most of the time. Like it makes sense for if a teenager gets famous for them to get kind of stuck in that zone because they got so heavily rewarded for their like teenage behavior, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I just hope doesn't happen, you know. But we'll see. I here's the thing. Like I said, Billie Eilish has all the potential in the world. We'll see how it turns out. I just feel like it's just, you know, to be this famous, this young, you know, it's like It rubs me the wrong way at times, you know. I don't know. It just feels weird because like this is like her like big breakout, you know, in terms of like getting in the pop charts and whatnot. But in terms of like just being like a very big name, you know, like still at like 15, 16 when like I think Ocean Eyes came out, that was huge when it came out. Within like, you know, within its like niches. So
Lorde was like that too. She was around that age.
Oh, true. True.
And royals.
And that's what I hope happens. Is that it's like a Lord situation where like
it 100% comes down to like parenting. It's like the kids that have good parents and are like child famous turn out fine, and the ones who don't turn out monsters.
I mean,
generally.
I don't know. I tried watching. Oh, sorry.
All it comes down to is a fiendish beat. If she just like has this beat playing all the time in her house,
That is
every
true.
day,
Anything
she'll
is
be
possible.
fine. I think she'll be fine.
I also will say Bad Guy is from my brief experiences with Billie Eilish, which are not super deep. I also think that like she has other better songs. I like Bury a Friend is like a really, really good pop song, and definitely recommend her other stuff. And I also think I definitely think she'll get better as she gets older and matures a little bit. Like you said, as far as specifically her music, like. The only thing you have to worry about is that, like, if this album is so mega successful that she just sort of stays this specific course and just churns out more albums like this. But, like, I think there's so much weirdness and, like, peculiarities to, like, the way that she's approaching this kind of music that I have faith that future projects are going to continue getting weirder and more interesting and better. So I'm excited. I think she's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Does anyone have any final thoughts before we
It's
segue?
good.
No, let's move on.
Well, speaking of child stars, number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 as of this episode is "Sucker" by the Jonas Brothers, who are making their grand comeback after breaking up in the early 2010s, kind of mid 2010s, and I will say it's weird that they got back together because like they're all doing pretty okay solo wise. Like Joe's band was doing pretty well, and then Nick had a pretty fine solo career himself. Like definitely,
Which one had Snakes by the Ocean?
That's Joe Jonas.
Is he the one who's married to Sophie Turner? Or is that Nick Jonas?
Yeah, that is correct.
Are they married or are they just dating?
They're married
just
now. They just got married in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Wow.
Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas are married. Yes.
Okay.
Snakes
Anyways,
by the Ocean.
it's this weird thing where like for years like I didn't think they were. I guess I mean when I was a teenager like they were like obviously like huge at like when I was a child like they were really really big, but I never thought that they were like such a huge like. They weren't that big. Like their biggest song was not even close to as like if you look at like their other like songs from when they were quote unquote big, like none of them even have like half the popularity that this song does. It's sort of this weird thing where like they were popular when a lot of us were children, and people who were fans of them have like let their fandom sort of like age like a fine wine, where all of a sudden now there's like all these adults that are like hyped about a Jonas Brothers comeback, and it's very strange as someone who never cared about the Jonas Brothers particularly, but also their music this is like fine. It's better than I would have expected their comeback. I did not think they were going to have like a top 10 Billboard hit, and I clearly have underestimated the Jonas Brothers, but also the song is not good. And although it gets into a point where I don't hate it, like once it gets into the chorus, I'm like whatever. But like the very beginning of the song and the way it starts was like the hardest like full body terror reaction I felt in this whole top 10. It similarly to I forget the exact wording, but Matty, your tweet that you had about seeing Diplo on screen, and how it like sends, like a full body like chill down your spine or whatever.
I black out.
I hate the baby voice they do on the chorus. It's so awful.
Yeah, this is
it's a worse version of that Portugal the Man song.
Oh God, now I hear
it's
that.
a worse version of Feel It Still. Like there's a lot of similarities there.
So I can see why you guys are all in the peasant cast for your opinions.
Didn't say I hate this song. I don't hate it.
Mostly fine.
I heard bad song being thrown around.
Well, Jackson.
First of all,
Jackson said that.
Feel It Still is one of the best pop songs ever made.
That's a great
Feel It
song.
Still is great.
I like that song. This is
Second of all, this song kind of
version.
goes. This song kind of fucks.
I will say with the song,
like
Joe
twin.
needs to be singing lead with the band, because Nick has a very like, as the song goes on, his voice becomes like way more grating. Like his like falsetto is like, I don't know about this one, you know.
So I'm impressed that you can differentiate them.
Yeah.
That
Have
is
we
true.
outed Matty as a Jonas Brothers fan?
Look, my sisters love the Jonas Brothers. Okay, my sisters love them. All right, this is just like residual, like
That's what
suppressed
they all
memories in my head. You know.
Matty, while we're on the podcast, is like throwing a bunch of Jonas Brothers T-shirts into a fire, like hastily trying to burn them. No, yeah, my sisters just really were listening to them a lot. Yeah. No, I actually relate though. As someone who had sisters who were 4 years younger than them, I do know, like, I probably in the back of my head have like all the lyrics to all the High School Musical songs lodged in there somewhere.
High School Musical
Like,
soundtrack fucks, all right? The High School Musical
it
soundtrack
goes.
fucks.
Yeah,
We're not gonna...
absolutely slappers. Top. I'm just saying, like, I understand the like having that knowledge like somewhere deep in the back of your brain, being like, oh yeah.
It's probably why I'm like I was like a little soft at first on me, like I didn't hate it as much, just because like it's just that residual like suppressed memories of having to listen to like Red in the car like every single day, like carpooling to high school with my sister, you know.
Yeah.
Like I can't fully hate Taylor Swift at this point in time.
Nor should anyone. Like I think hating Taylor Swift is stupid, even though like lots of her recent output has been like bad and corny.
But yeah, anyways, Sucker Jonas Brothers. I don't hate it. I don't think it's just weird that they would kind of. It's a comeback that I wasn't really expecting, you know, because when they broke up, they obviously their relevance had kind of dried out, and I think they made I think like it was good timing for them to come back now, because you know they've been doing pretty well solo wise, and I think their fans had grown up just enough. They're like, oh man, you know, like, what happened to the Jonas Brothers? I kind of miss the Jonas Brothers, where that thought kind of pops up in the head a little bit. Not like it wasn't like people were begging for it, but people were just like, oh, where'd they go? And then of course, oh, here they are, boom. And this like Hot Shots #1, which actually I did not that shocked me when it like debuted at #1. Like that was like, wait, what? Like people miss Jonas Brothers that much? Like, all right, cool, but you know, all right.
I thought this song kind of slammed. I thought it had just enough really nonsensical and bizarre lyrics that I was able to nod my head and smile when I heard them. And also just kind of went hard. I think I have so Cake by the Ocean, I realize now it's called Cake by the Ocean, not Snakes by the Ocean. Because I've had it stuck in my head now since I brought
Snakes
it
by
up.
the Ocean.
God.
So good! Yeah, I mean that song is like cursed, but also like secretly the best song ever made. And so I just have like a nice, soft, warm, tingly feeling when I hear the Jonas Brothers say "Snakes by the Ocean," and and honestly, to me, I don't even remember how the song goes. I just remember that he talks about like tattoos on his brain and like subliminal stuff. And I was like, hell yeah, Jonas Brothers, get that snake by the ocean, make it happen. Honestly,
right.
I will say this is my take about Sucker. We mentioned, of course, that he's married to Sophie Turner, and I'm going to ask a question for the panel. Does Sophie Turner peg Joe Jonas?
100%.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad we could all agree on this. All right.
I'm not going to be
Yeah,
able
she definitely
to
gives him that
relax
by the
until we
ocean.
talk about the next song.
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Alex. I will let you. Alex. Okay, our number two on this Billboard, not our number 2, because I would never want this song anywhere on any kind of list that we put together besides the worst songs
this is
list.
another moment where
The number 2 song on the Billboard Hot 100 is "I Don't Care" by Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber. So I listened to the Redheaded Devil's new song, and I actually I really enjoyed it. I listened a couple times just to make sure, and I did not stop enjoying it. I found it likable, It sounds good to me. I don't find the lyrics grating. I like it. I enjoy the way he performs the verses and the chorus. I like the way he sings it, and it makes me feel warm, and I just genuinely really like this song.
Alex,
I did not expect
above
that.
your cast.
This is quite a heel
Some of
turn.
the longest rants in this series of casts have been me talking shit about Ed Sheeran, but I like this song. It might be my favorite.
I think back to that meme you made of Atlas holding up the earth.
Yeah.
It was me. Perfect by Ed Sheeran. So this song is no perfect, but I think it might be better than Shape of You, and I actually really like it. I also like it.
I mean, that's not a hard. That's not like a high bar to climb. That's not a high bar to climb.
That is a metric that every song has.
When you guys were talking about Sam Smith and how he can't make ballads, all I could think about was Ed Sheeran making me swoon. You guys think this is ironic too? It's not.
No, we don't think it's ironic. We're just concerned. We just have to process that as such because it's the only way that we can accept it. Jeremiah. It's the only way we can accept it. I'm like, he's got to be ironic. Like, please don't tell me he's serious.
So I love on this song that they self-own themselves by being like, everyone here is so interesting and has things to say.
Look, here's the thing with Ed Sheeran. Here's all I need to know about. Here's all you need to know about Ed Sheeran. Look at a photo of Ed Sheeran and try to tell me that he is not dead inside. He has the deadest eyes that I've ever seen of any celebrity.
We've talked about this
We've talked about it before, but I'm just going to reiterate every time. I'm going to say it every time.
This point, but I am telling you, this song has soul in it. There is real, authentic joy and happiness in this song, and I gotta say, it's a good week for monogamy.
I gotta agree. This is a great song, and it's about how being in a monogamous relationship is good and strong and his friend.
Look, I agree with that point. I agree with the point of that, but also at the same time, I don't hate this song. I should iterate. I don't hate this song. I don't care about this song.
And that's where you're wrong.
There we go.
I have a confession to make, which is that I did not listen to this song because I just couldn't do it. I was like, it was like a risk I wasn't willing to take. I'm sorry.
I think it doesn't.
Before I listened, I would have said that's a great take because it would have been, but it's just it's a quality song.
Alex, I respect you deeply. I'm having trouble walking across this imaginary bridge with you in my head.
So if I were to do this as if I were on Project Runway, I would say that they don't really take any risks here on the beat or anything, but it's
Has Ed Sheeran ever?
Yes.
Has he?
You listen to the song "Perfect" by Ed Sheeran. Tell me that is not innovative and different.
What?
Also, Thinking Out Loud literally birthed all of the slow songs on the radio for the past 5 years.
It's weird
that
being
is wrong.
simultaneously on Jeremiah's side and extremely not on Jeremiah's side.
Oh my god!
The song is good.
Again, you're trying to make it. I mean, here's the thing. Like, yeah, Thinking Out Loud is like influential in how like what allows songs to become hits.
God,
you know? But like, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all, Jeremiah.
Thinking Out Loud is so good.
No, it's not.
I hate this song.
Bro, Jeremiah, if you get married someday and you have that song be like your first dance or something, I will leave the wedding. I will dump all of the wine out of the wedding, and I will leave.
This is a surefire way to not get invited, man.
And I would rather but here's like, would Kasha agree to this? Would she agree to have Thinking Out Loud be like your first dance song? Kasha's gonna guest on a podcast very soon. Spoilers. And I will ask her this, like, would you do this? And if she says yes, then I will. Again, both of you are off the podcast forever. You will be banished.
Thinking Out Loud is a great song.
No,
Actually,
no,
laughing so hard.
No.
You guys would say it's not.
I feel like I really feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Episode 3, where he's like, if you cannot see that, then you are lost. That's how I feel to Jero right now as he goes down this path.
Oh my god.
I full body hate thinking out loud.
It's not a good.
I didn't appreciate how good it was until I heard it every single day at the bank, and it's like,
Jeremiah, you have
Oh,
Stockholm
good.
Syndrome. You have fucking Stockholm Syndrome, dude. This is literal Stockholm.
Over time, you were slowly bent to Ed Sheeran's will.
but there were songs that I liked going into it that I heard every day that I suddenly hated. I'm saying these things are. This is not Stockholm Syndrome. This is real profound love. Yes, was it induced by close proximity? Yes. But he's so good.
Jeremiah, you just spoke cringe. You are going to lose subscriber.
Okay. Can we? As much as I would love to debate the merits of Ed Sheeran all day, we probably should get to the.
Okay, wait. One
okay.
last.
I feel like you
would
can
put
see
singing out loud in
smoke
my top
rising
10
from
pop
this
songs of the
podcast.
decade.
No!
Please,
Stop!
Ed, stop it. Stop
All
it.
right. Moving on to one of the other top 10 songs of the decade.
This is true. This song is
Yeah.
a banger, and y'all know what it is at this point. It's Old Town Road.
Gonna
It's
take
Lil
my
Nas.
hound to the
It's
old
the
town dog park.
cultural phenomenon that
till she poops and pees.
I love
Okay,
this
we're
rendition.
gonna put Jeremiah, can you mute
But-
yourself for the next, 3
Anyways.
minutes?
All right,
No, it's fine. I appreciated that contribution very much.
Okay.
But this song, I think this song is good. I think this song I thought the music video that came out this week was very good and is definitely helping the song like achieve a second life, because it was starting to get kind of like I was starting to get tired of it. But the very good music video helps keep the fire. Hopefully he releases more actual good music. But this song, while being very much a novelty song and very much like silly and ridiculous, is also very undeniably like a goddamn good pop song and very fucking catchy, and I really enjoy it a lot. I think the Billy Ray Cyrus appearance on the remix is like insane in a really fun way.
I
And
agree.
I also like that.
Legitimately profound.
Yeah.
Profound. Not joking.
They have shocking charisma. Like
Oh, no.
like even in the video, just watching them, like I could watch an hour of it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is every like I've seen like an interview or here or there is it's like he was like a tweet deck like kind of like viral tweeter dude who like has been trying to get like internet famous for a while or whatever, and so there's a certain part of me that's kind of like skeptical to him, because I feel like on one hand he's like incredibly like super fucking charismatic, like very naturally likable and talented, and like definitely gonna be like a celebrity for a while if he makes more good music. But like also I can't help but feel like his charisma is somewhat like calculated at times, and also I can't stop thinking about that viral tweet where it was like Columbia it was Chris's tweet where it was like Columbia record executive, put the fucking hat back on. Lil Nas X, no, I don't want to put it on. Like there is a certain degree to which like him wearing cowboy hats all the time now is like kind of sad to me, and like on one hand he's like a very talented young kid who's like making his dreams come true and has the #1 song in the world and has a song that is objectively better than like Ed Sheeran and all these other like people who are trying to dominate the pop charts.
Look,
but also like I can't help but feel like this is just like a smart kid who has figured out how to game this viral system.
So
which
I think you raise an
I
interesting
appreciate
point.
that.
I appreciate that angle, but this song is so genuinely good.
Oh
and
yeah,
effortless
Yeah.
that I think there's just impossible to me that like, sure he's like been on an internet head for a while and been trying to get fame, but also like he fucking got it for real.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he did something here. That's the thing, is that if this was like a bad song, this would be super duper depressing and sad. But instead, it gets to be like a very fun cultural
He
moment.
baked a
that
fat ass devil cake and then put some fucking cream cheese spread on top, and then we gave us life. And he split the cake, and then it multiplied.
I also
like
think
the loaves
his,
and the fishes.
cowboy voice that he does, especially on the rapping verses, is just like so good. Like it's his ability to do that perfect low cowboy voice is legitimately like great. He's a really good vocalist. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
the can't tell me nothing thing and all that. Like it's all like he's got pipes. Like dude.
The other
can
thing too is that this song is you could play this to someone as just a history of hip hop, and someone could understand. It covers literally everything.
I'll hear you out on this.
So,
but I'm
first of all-
pretty sure.
First of all, his name has Nas in it.
All right.
Second of all,
All right.
he traces. Second of all, "Can't Tell Me Nothing" is a clear reference to Mr. Kanye West. Third of all, you can trace the lineage of hip hop all the way back to the shared ancestor of country music, or at least current country music, which is blues. And then also, country music is known today for very much appropriating hip hop into their stuff. And so in this sense, he's talking about how he's got a huge dick and stuff, and it's just really good. And he really touches on the important things about how rap is good and y'all haters need to stop, in my opinion.
Yeah, country rap fusions is like it's such a potential.
It's a blessed genre.
It's a blessed.
Twisted
It's
No,
never
exactly.
something you would have thought about.
by the
like
whites.
being good.
No, it can go wrong like so obviously and clearly, and that was the other thing about this is that like people were like, oh, we need cowboy rap's about to be its own genre, and I'm like, no, it is not, because it is very hard to make a song like this like not corny and lame, and I think this song succeeds very well, and I actually hope that Lil Nas X like has kind of some more versatility, because I feel like if he does nothing but like cowboy songs forever, I think people will get tired of him and think it's sort of like a shtick or whatever. But this song fucking rules, and so I'm very okay with.
I feel like it's
cultural
hard
thought.
it's hard to see a way forward for him, because
A
this is
little
such
bit.
a niche track, and I don't see it having like not staying power, but I
Here's the
don't
thing. I mean,
I don't
Alex, you
think
say
he could
this.
make 10 Old Town Roads and put them on an album and have that album be good.
I don't disagree.
And I don't think he could keep doing this. And
Hopefully,
I would like him
to.
to stick around. I would like him to stick around because he does have a lot of like pure raw talent. You know, like as Jackson was saying, like he does have like a really good voice and like can be really funny and creative. I mean, let's look at another, I guess, comedy-ish rapper with Little in their name, Little Dicky. Who?
Oh God.
Which thank God we are not talking about
the
him on this
cursed
episode.
name.
Cursed name.
Yeah, I actually listened to that Earth song, and people were not exaggerating. It legitimately, it is the first time in my life I'm like, maybe global warming is good. Actually, I don't know. Like, Lil Dicky made me rethink things for the first time. It's that song is unbelievably bad.
I mean, here's the thing, Alex. I mean, you say that it doesn't have staying power. I mean, right now, of course, it's 11 weeks on the chart, and I think it's spent like 6 or 7 of those weeks like number one. Like this, it doesn't happen every day. Where, like you have all these big artists like dropping these singles. They get like it blocked Taylor Swift from number one. It blocked Shawn Mendes from number one. It blocked Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber from number one. You know, it's blocked all these artists so far.
I think this song has staying power.
Okay,
I
maybe
meant
the artist,
the
yeah.
style.
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see.
Hopefully what he does is that this song is sort of used to parlay into a more expansive music career in which he then writes other songs that kind of go. I mean, he's gonna put out an album this year.
I think if he could bring more substance to this style, I would love to listen to an album like style.
I agree.
But it's just it is kind of a novelty song. It's great. It's like, it's not superficial. I adore this song, but like, I don't know that I could listen to an album of all like novelty country hip hop songs and like actually be really into it.
Yeah, we'll see this year because he's got a record deal and is putting out an album. So like, we're gonna find out pretty quick, like exactly what kind of a career he's on a trajectory for. But also, I think that like if he doesn't end up like being a famous music artist, he'll just be like a YouTuber, like whatever he is. Like,
I mean, he's gonna be cashing checks off this song for years.
Lil Nas X is the bag is secured, and B, I have a feeling that in some form Lil Nas X is like in our lives now because he's like a very likable, charismatic guy, and people seem to just like enjoy rooting for him.
Yeah, he's my friend.
I mean, yeah, it's just weird that this all basically started from like his song getting like kicked out of the country songs chart. Yeah, this is where it all began. It's just snowballed to such an insane degree.
That is one of the best parts about it is that in the attempt of them to be like, this isn't actually country, they only ended up making it like a huger phenomenon, which rules.
We didn't talk about two things with the song. We didn't really get more in depth with the Billie Ray Cyrus remix, which is why, I mean, that's kind of what really boosted it up to number one.
It was like the number. It was I don't know if it hit.
It was already number one before that. I think it was number one before that, but it's what really like has secured its place as like this huge song. Yeah. You know,
it went viral off the TikTok, and then the combination of the Billie Cyrus remix and then the Billie Cyrus remix / video, those two things really like each took it up another level in terms of like how big of a phenomenon I got. And that's the thing we mentioned.
He adds a lot to the song. He really he makes the song.
It's insane how good. I mean, Billie Ray Cyrus is a good songwriter, is famous. He has some country hits or whatever. But like, I was really not expecting in like 2019 Billie Ray Cyrus to be like crushing a feature like this. I was like, I knew that we were gonna get like a remix for the big artist, and it seemed like a weird choice when they're like, oh, Billie Ray Cyrus is doing a remix of it. But then when you hear it, you're like, oh, of course.
Yeah, he kind of snaps on his verse.
It goes hard. No, yeah, when the part where Billie Ray Cyrus is actually rapping, I cannot believe works as well as it does.
It is like, great.
It's even though
and a lot of money on my brand new guitar.
For whatever the baby's gotta have it, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras.
Yeah, that line fucking goes so hard.
Yeah, he snaps on this whole verse.
He gave me big Crunch Man vibes, which is what you really want to be going for on a song like that.
And then the video's hilarious. Vince Staples cameo in the video is
so funny.
Oh, so good.
God,
I've not seen
when is someone? Yet. I think Vince he did get cast as like a lead in a movie recently, right? Like, I'm not making that up.
Hear that. But I didn't hear that. But it sounds right. I mean, yeah, Vince Staples is one of the most likable human beings on planet Earth. You can put him in just about anything, and it's probably going to be better.
Yeah, I love this song. As I said, like the Billie Ray Cyrus verse, like legitimately like enlightening. Like that last bar is like legit. Like holy shit! Like it ties the entire song together. Like the original version. It's a fun little joke song, but like that Billie Ray Cyrus where it's like does give the song like a lot of power. You know, like
I want them to do a collab album.
And yeah, there's a trend in general in music toward like brevity, like a lot of like hip hop and stuff, like it's so minimal and short, and songs are like getting shorter and shorter and shorter generally. And I think that the original song is like good, but it's like a chorus and like two very short verses, and they're just like just quite not enough meat on the bone on the original. And like adding the remix with the extra Billy Ray Cyrus verse, like, and a second vocalist is just like exactly what the song needed to make it like a more complete song. And the remix is very good. I will also say the Diplo remix is fucking terrible. I will fight Diplo.
Like I said, seeing Diplo, especially current Diplo with like the long hair, and he looks like
it's so why does he think that his hair has looked good for the last 5 years? At any point has he come to that? I'm very mad. I'm more mad at Diplo recently than I have been in a while. Partly for that terrible Old Town Road remix, partly because I had to see his face and hear his voice in Detective Pikachu, which felt like a real personal attack on my childhood that I didn't appreciate. And also, he put out like a house music EP because no genre of music can go unprofitized by Diplo. And yeah. Fuck that dude.
Fuck Diplo. God. Although Rico Nasty in the video is good.
Nothing.
Rico
Nasty is one of the best parts of it. That picture of Rico Nasty and Lil Nas X where they're like posted up on the stage or whatever shooting the music video is so wonderful. It's such a chaotic good energy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I don't have much else to say. I hope, again, like I said, I really hope Old Town Round beats the Mariah Carey Boyz II Men record. I would love that so much. Like, it seems like if it's blocking all of these songs and no one is sick of this song yet, like I don't think I've heard anyone be like, oh man, I'm tired of this song. Like,
yeah, I can still listen to Old Town Road on repeat.
That was the thing. It was reaching like a sort of, it felt like a natural end of its life cycle, and it felt like people would stop talking about that. And they really perfectly timed like when the video dropped to sort of like give it a CPR resuscitation. And now it feels like we're entering yet another period of the song being like the biggest deal, which is really impressive. And like for someone that this is literally their first actual hit, like the way that he has like he and I guess now Columbia Records that have signed him, but like the way that they've managed to coordinate this sort of ascent to domination is pretty impressive, I think.
All right. If we have nothing else to say, I think we'll round out. I guess to round this out, what is everyone's favorite song on this top 10? I will shoot off to Alex. What is your favorite song of this top 10?
I don't know. I think it might be Old Town Road. I do really like the Ed Sheeran song. But I think it is Old Town Road still.
I think that's pretty much where I am too. I think Old Town Road is just really good.
Mm-hmm. I will have to agree. I think Old Town Road is definitely the best of the bunch.
I will agree, and I'll also say, somewhat upsettingly, my second favorite song on this very bleak top 10 is probably either Bad Guy or Sunflower.
No, I actually thought it was a pretty good top 10. I was enjoying listening to it, except for Taylor Swift and Halsey. I enjoyed every song.
I feel differently as we've discussed. But
oh boy, I was gonna say again, Old Town Road is the obvious favorite for me, but I think my second favorite song on this is "Wow" by Post Malone.
It's a great song. He goes ham.
It's really good. I like it. It doesn't make me want to kill myself when I listen to it. So
that is the test for Post Malone's song.
So
are there any other songs in the top 100 that anyone wants to shout out? Looking through it, the top 100 in general.
Top 100 is pretty bad, right?
Oh yeah, it's really pretty alarmingly bad, top to bottom.
I hope "Shug" by DaBaby keeps rising up the charts.
That is a good song.
It's a good song. I think DaBaby is a really good rapper. Although I think I just read a tweet today that was like, it's very obvious that like DaBaby was like raised by like old heads, just the way that he raps a little bit. I don't understand. I thought that was funny, and I get that. Of like,
Yeah, the baby is great though. I really like. He has a very good feature on. Also, the Megan Thee Stallion album is really really good, and one of her songs is on this top 100, and she's gonna be like super mega famous, I think.
oh yeah, definitely gonna be a star. You know, like
She's so fucking good at rapping. Like the freestyle videos she does on her like YouTube, like there are a lot of girls in rap right now that are rapping circles around most of the really popular male rappers out. Like that's been true for a minute, but like especially now.
I think Juice by Lizzo just just like a number 100 right now. So there's a favorite there. I mean, it seems like an obvious one for some people. I don't know. I'm looking at the charts right now. Yeah, it's not good. Why is Tyga still famous? Like, why did we allow Tyga to make a comeback? I don't get that at all.
No, actually, I do. Before we can keep talking, we'll wrap it up. But I want to say the Tyga comeback makes sense because for years Tyga has been completely floundering, trying to be like a serious rap artist, and has just been trying and failing for everyone to take him seriously. And he had that weird album cover where it was like porn, and it was like a tiger girl. But like the thing about his recent comeback is that in the last like 15 months or whatever it's been, Tyga just realized that people just want him to make Tyga songs, and that's it. And he started just releasing Tyga songs that are just basically like slight variations on Rack City, which is what got him the only success he's gotten up to this point. And I think now Tyga has, in a similar way to Post Malone, like found his cast and has just perfected making Tyga clubs to be played at strip clubs, and that's good. I think that's perfectly fine, and I'm happy for Tyga that he's found.
I mean, I don't want to be happy for the guy that like probably groomed a teenager.
Oh no, yeah, like not a good dude.
No,
but...
I mean that's why it's just shocking me. It's just like, wait, what? I thought we all just agreed this guy was whack, and just we kind of left him behind. And then once people kind of figured out, like, oh yeah, he was definitely grooming Kylie Jenner. Like that's not cool, but of course, you know, like, this is Hollywood, so I mean, people don't give a shit about that at all. So, I don't know. This is getting too serious. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Wait. Before we go, do we have any albums that we're excited about that are coming out tomorrow?
What's coming out tomorrow?
I can start. One of the best records of the year, Reward by Cat LeBone.
No, that doesn't come out to the 24th. Oh wait, it is. Oh shit, it's the 23rd.
Tomorrow.
It is the 23rd. Oh shit.
That's tomorrow. Yeah, no, I had the same thing where someone like told me the date like a day or two ago, and I had a pant. It was like, what? How is it?
That album is phenomenal and weird and just really excellent. And the first single from it, Daylight Matters, is absolutely in the running for best single of the year.
That'll be a yeehaw for me. I agree. You put me onto it when we did a podcast a few weeks ago, and I've been listening to Daylight Matters a lot. It's good as hell, and I'm excited for the whole album. The new Flying Lotus drops tonight. That's what I'm most excited for, I think.
I will throw out an album. I've had this one. I've been listening to it pretty much a bunch this past week. The new Faye Webster album that comes out tonight is going to be. It's really, really good. I definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of Casey Musgrave's album from last year, you'll definitely like this Faye Webster album a lot. So,
you just sold me.
Even with really the scary cover.
The cover is bad. It is a bad album cover, but just don't let that fool you. It's a really great, sincere, like kind of old school country-ish R&B record. Like it's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen to it.
I'm sorry, Jeremiah. Okay, this is completely unrelated, but I just saw a headline that I think Jeremiah would appreciate. Sims 4 mod lets you square up with your toddlers. All right. Anyways, Alex, what are
getting away with too much for too long?
What's up? The new Flying Lotus, the new Faye Webster comes out tomorrow. The new Pronoun album comes out tomorrow. the new Mavis Staples album, the new Cat LeBon album, and that's all I recognize. Oh God, there's a new Morrissey thing coming out. What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a covers
That
album. Yeah, I think that's the covers album.
I
Like
don't
all these famous people on it who are like have no reason to be on a Morrissey album. It's great.
Why is anyone again? Like I said, I get it. Like there's so much goodwill that he earned from the Smiths, but like it's not a good look to be collabing with Morrissey in 2019. I think like what's his name from Grizzly Bear is on the album, and it's
Yes,
like what are you
Andraste.
like Ed? What are you doing, dude? Like fuck, man. Like what is going on? God, enough.
All right.
I hope Morrissey gets milkshaked. I really hope that I see that.
Oh God, I can't. Yeah, it's literally a matter of
Nigel
time.
Farage
before
got
Morrissey-
milkshake.
I cannot wait
Again.
for milkshaking to get to cross cross upon the pond.
Oh yeah, no, it needs to fucking cross the Atlantic Ocean. Milkshaking needs to take the United States.
Again, whoever the first American to do it is, they are set for life.
That's the one thing though, is that I feel like Americans are more scared to do it because like the cops will definitely shoot you here in a way that they won't in the UK.
That is true. It's sad to think about, but yeah.
Anyways, milkshake your local fascist and listen to the Indieheads Music Podcast.
All
Where
right.
we are Antifa, just like Miss Halsey. is Antifa.
Antifa legend Halsey.
Oh my god. All right.
Yeah, she's an Antifa super soldier.
Actually, speaking of which, real quickly before we end the pod for real, I promise this is the actual last thing. Can we talk about the fact that young Lana Del Rey told Moby to get guillotined?
Yeah, that's pretty epic.
Yeah, the Moby saga from this week was really incredible.
So what was the source of that? He just released a memoir and
He was like,
an
just
autobiography
himself into oblivion.
Oh yeah, repeated cell phone after cell phone, and then the entire internet took to online to be like, yeah, I didn't date Morrissey,
you date Moby,
and
you mean?
he's a dickhead. Shout out to Natalie Portman for just like tomahawk dunking on him.
Wait, there was an Onion headline that came out today about Moby. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because it was like today.
My only experience and exposure with Moby is from the National's documentary Mistaken for Strangers, when they're at a hotel and they can see Moby's house across, and Matt's like, hey, I think that's Moby's house, and then his brother, whose name escapes me, I want to say Todd or Tim, what's his brother's name? Younger Baron's brother.
Wait, what?
Anyways, he's like, Moby! As he's splashing around in this pool. He's just yelling at Moby. That's my only experience with Moby.
Oh yeah, here's the Onion headline. Moby provides long-range blurry photo taken through window to prove he currently dating Natalie Portman.
Yeah. Anyways,
His name is Tom Berenger, by the way. I remembered.
Okay, let's end this podcast.
Mistaken for Strangers is a great movie. Everyone watch it.
Jeremiah, enough. Done. We're done.
Fellas, this has been a long podcast.
Oh yeah,
This
this
is
is
high energy. I am
It was-
honestly feeling quite tuckered out.
it was
We should-
it was very off the rails in a way that I enjoyed, as Billboard podcasts honestly should be.
Do you want to tell us a bedtime story before you get fully tuckered out, Alex, before to end this podcast?
Oh God.
Tell him
no.
a parable of Big Tummy.
Oh shit! I actually wrote a kid's book about Big Cummy.
Big Tummy's
That-
bad day.
That might be for another time, because in order to access it, I need to pay Mojang some money to renew our server subscription.
That could be
Too
our
busy, like
tease.
playing other games.
That could be our tease for next week, is we can read your kid's book about.
It's a great story.
I'd be happy to read Big Cummy's Bad Day.
Anyways,
All right, LBS Drones podcast.
For context, for all of
the
the
podcast refuses to end.
this is like such a like inside baseball niche thing. Big Cummy is a donkey in Jero and my Minecraft server.
And he's the trickster deity of our
Yeah.
culture.
Hey, we're pretty sure he is the minor god of donkeys, and we're also pretty sure that he is an ancient crime lord.
He's done some shady shit, but
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
stand.
We do stand.
Almost
not
every
sitting in
culture
my
we've
chair
come
right
across
now.
has him somewhere in their myth system.
He very well may be the god of capitalism in this world, which is tragic and unfortunate, but Big Cummy is very iconic, very important. He's a wanted criminal in most
He owns
states.
a ranch.
It's true, he does own a ranch.
It's an unfinished ranch, but it exists.
Okay, let's end this. Let's end this. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to keep up with us when we're not doing the podcast, of course, all of our Twitters and whatnot are in the description on YouTube and our website probably somewhere. I don't.
If you're
fucking know.
if you're still listening to the podcast at this point, why is my question? But
Thank
also
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Again, at Indieheads Pod. Again, all of our Twitters will be on the post whenever this goes up. So yeah, subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all of that.
Walmart.com.
Tell your mom about Big Cummy. Tell your mom about Big Cummies.
Yeah.
And
Spread the word.
we will see you guys on the next episode. See ya. Bye. Big Cummies forever.
Bye.